In today's video, I'll be discussing the pros and cons of both BPM Supreme and BeatSource Link. These are two comparable DJ music subscription services, but they operate on very different technologies. So BPM Supreme is a download-based service where you look for tracks, download them to your computer, import them into a software such as Serato DJ, and then play them in that software. Whereas BeatSource Link is a streaming-based platform, which the core principle is that you stream the tracks through a DJ software directly. Those big topics include pricing and extra features, mobile app comparison, and organization and search capabilities. Now, these are, in my opinion, the most important things when it comes to looking at DJ subscriptions. And really quick, before we get into the video, I'm going to add a card here to my BeatSource Link review that I did separately that goes more in depth about what BeatSource is and how it works. If you want to check that out, make sure to check out the card here. And you'll also see cards pop up throughout the video, so keep an eye over here for cards. And now, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, when it comes to price and extra features, basically the way I'm going to talk about things is the pricing and packages. So BeatSource Link, for example, has 3 pricing packages. They have a $10 a month, a $20 a month, and a $30 a month. All of those packages include different features. The same thing for BPM Supreme. BPM Supreme has a $20 a month package and a $30 a month package. So to start talking about some of the features that the packages include, I think the biggest thing that we need to talk about is downloads and/or streaming, because it does work a little bit differently. We're comparing a little bit apples to oranges here between BPM Supreme and BeatSource Link. So with BPM Supreme, no matter if you get the $20 a month or the $30 a month package, you are going to get unlimited downloads. That does change a little bit for BeatSource Link because they do not offer unlimited downloads, so to speak, but you don't actually need to download tracks to use their service and get value out of it, because you can stream their tracks directly from your DJ software. They are in many major DJ softwares, so Rekordbox, DJ, Serato DJ, Virtual DJ, all those, they're in there, and you can very easily stream. But you might be asking yourself, well, what do I do if I'm at an event and I don't have access to Wi-Fi or internet of any sort? Well, BeatSource Link does offer downloads, and they are working to integrate it into the softwares. Currently, it is in the works for Serato, and basically your number of downloads that you can have offline in a DJ software is based on your subscription tier. So at the $10 a month tier, you're going to get 0 downloads. At $20 a month, you get 50 downloads, and $30 a month, you get 100 downloads. But the key here is that it's a little bit different, because you can download 50 tracks for one wedding and have them downloaded for one day, and then you can delete those tracks because they're really just stored offline, and download a different set of 50 tracks for the next wedding. So really it's about how many tracks you need offline for a specific event. Personally, I think 50 tracks is a little slim. I have spoken with the people at BeatSource Link that are working on all these features, and they have told me that they plan to expand the amount of downloads that are allowed over time. Now, as we talk about downloads, we also have to talk about streaming. So BPM Supreme does not offer streaming within DJ softwares. However, they do through their mobile app. But you have to have the $30 a month tier to get high quality streaming in their mobile app. If I need a song that I don't have downloaded, then I usually would just play it off of the mobile app. But you have to pay $10 extra a month to get the high quality streaming that will allow you to stream it good. When it comes to BeatSource Link, of course, streaming is allowed across all tiers. However, they do change the quality based on how much you're paying, although personally, in my opinion, they offer a little bit better value for your money. So at the $10 a month tier, you get lower quality streaming, basically the standard quality that you would expect. When you step up to the $20 and $30 a month tiers, you get full high quality streaming, which is at the 256 kilobit per second AAC file, which is basically the equivalent of a 320 kilobit per second MP3. I know that's a lot of technical jargon. Basically, it's high quality streaming at both the $20 and $30 a month tier. And last but certainly not least is playlists. So with BPM Supreme, playlists are not included for the $20 a month tier. They're only included for the $30 a month tier, but that's referencing their pre-made playlists. You can, of course, make your own crates for downloads and stuff, but if you want to use their pre-made playlists or set lists, then you have to pay that $30 a month tier. With BeatSource Link, you have access to all of their playlists and making your own custom playlists that you can actually share across the internet. You can do that across any of their tiers. So $10 a month, $20 a month, or $30 a month, you can do all of that with BeatSource Link. So I think that's a pretty good value. What does it really cost DJ subscriptions to have playlists, especially if they're made by other DJs? Not a lot of money. So that's a really cool feature that they have. That's all for price and extra features. Now we're going to talk about the mobile apps. Now, unfortunately, at the present time, BeatSource Link does not have a mobile app. However, they have let me know that they plan to create one in the future, but they do have plans for it, which is something to look forward to. When it comes to BPM Supreme, they have a mobile app, and I think it's a pretty good mobile app. I did a review on it a while ago when it came out that you can check out here. I wouldn't necessarily recommend checking out because it was basically right when it came out, and the mobile app has changed quite a bit since then. But basically, BPM's mobile app does what you need it to do. It will stream music, you can add to your crates, you can look music up, you can organize it, all those types of things. And hopefully when BeatSource Link does finally come out with a mobile app, hopefully it will also have those things as well. One key thing to remember about BeatSource Link is that they are very responsive to DJs' needs, and they're very open to hearing feedback from DJs. Now, another big thing that is important when it comes to a music subscription is organization and search capabilities. You have to be able to find the music if you're going to plan on using it. When it comes to BeatSource Link, they have very good organization because they have all these playlists that you can use, and they also have main genres. Similar to how BPM Supreme has main genres, BPM Supreme, of course, does not offer playlists unless you pay for them, so that is one downside to the organization. When it comes to search capabilities, I would actually say that BPM Supreme wins in this regard because if I search for a track on BPM Supreme, I always feel like I get a little bit more relevant results. So if BPM Supreme has the track, then I'm going to find it. If they don't, then I'm not going to find it. And usually it's just going to come up with a blank page because there was no search results for that. When we're talking about search with BeatSource Link, it's a little bit more like a DMS or something like that, where if you search for a track but they don't have it, you're going to get results for some tracks that aren't related, and that can be confusing at times if you're really trying to find a specific track. So I think that could be improved a little bit, but I also think it's a matter of just BeatSource Link having a much larger library of music than BPM Supreme actually does. And that leads me into my final and probably the most important point to review of both of these subscriptions, and that is music. Obviously, we are DJs. We need to have a good selection of music, and the real question here is who has the best selection of music? Realistically, when it comes to these two subscriptions, they both kind of have their own niche to what they cater to, at this time at least. When you're talking about edits, so clean and dirty edits, BeatSource Link usually comes in a little better with those because they have more of like official edits, whereas BPM Supreme a lot of times only has clean edits on the most mainstream tracks, and that has been a problem for me in the past as being a wedding DJ or a Sweet 16 DJ or a school dance DJ, especially where at school dances a lot of times you'll get requests for songs that aren't as mainstream. BPM Supreme only has a dirty edit. They don't have a clean edit. And that's obviously a problem if you're a school dance DJ. If you're a club DJ, obviously clean edits probably aren't a big deal for you. So keep that in mind when you're comparing these two subscriptions. One thing that's really important to me is intros. So intro edits on songs where you have a good intro to mix with. That's personally important to me, but it might not be important to you. A lot of mobile DJs don't use intros, a lot do. When it comes to club DJs, a lot of club DJs use intros and swear by them and absolutely need them. So if you're someone who really needs intros on your tracks, then you're probably going to want to go with BPM Supreme because at the current time, again, it's something that they want to introduce in the future, and they are slowly introducing right now. BeatSource Link doesn't really have a lot of intros on tracks, and it's really because of the nature of their subscription, because they are a streaming service, and because they get the proper rights from record labels to have their music for streaming, they don't have those intros unless they can get the proper rights for it. And that's not the easiest thing to do. So they do want to get it done in the future, but being a growing company, it's something that they're working on. When it comes to catalog of music, I would say personally from my experience that BeatSource Link absolutely wins there because of the nature of their service. A lot of the mainstream tracks that might be disabled on a service like BPM Supreme, sometimes you look for a Chris Brown or a Travis Scott song and they just don't have it because it's been disabled. Some things like that do happen for BeatSource Link. However, it works a little bit differently. The track will still show, it'll just show as disabled, which I personally think is beneficial because if you have it in a playlist, then instead of just evaporating, it's going to show as disabled. And that way, if it's an important song to your client, you can get it a different way. They do have a bigger library. A lot of those songs that are disabled, like I was mentioning, on BPM Supreme, a lot of them BeatSource Link is going to have and not be disabled. When we're talking about remixes, BPM Supreme is going to be your place to go because they have a lot of unofficial remixes. They'll take remixes from DJs that are subscribers to the platform. If you're a club DJ, that's probably going to be important to you, is having a wide array of remixes. When it comes to BeatSource Link, unfortunately, they really only have official remixes because they're getting their music from the record label, and it's much more rare to see an unofficial remix on their platform. So keep that in mind. Unfortunately, they don't have as many remixes. It is hopefully something that they're going to be working on in the future. If you want to know more about all of this legal stuff that I'm talking about with music and remixes and legal gray areas that BPM Supreme and DJ pools fall into, click the card up in the corner here. It's a link to my BeatSource Link review, and I go into more depth about how the service works and why their music is technically more legal than something like BPM Supreme. And guys, that just about wraps up the video. It's time to basically compare these two services in all of the things that I just mentioned. So I think that the comparison between these two services boils down to one basic question. Are you a mobile DJ or are you a club DJ? And there's a bunch of subset questions that go under that, like how much value do you place on having intros on your tracks? How much value do you place on remixes? How much value do you place on having clean and dirty edits of tracks? Overall, most mobile DJs are going to be able to work with radio edits. They might not need as many intro edits. They might not need as many remixes. And they're going to need more clean edits of songs. So they're going to be better off probably on BeatSource Link. On the other hand, if you are a club DJ that needs a lot of intro edits and you need dirty edits of tracks but not really clean edits, and you need more access to remixes, then you're probably going to want BPM Supreme because that's more of what they have. Now, you may be like myself and fall into an area where you fall into both a club DJ and a mobile DJ area, and in that case, I would say either switch off based on what you're doing a lot in a given month, or at the most you would be paying $60 a month for both of these subscriptions together, and I think they make a really great pairing and fill in their gray areas that they both have. So that wraps the video up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave me a thumbs up on the video. Leave me a comment letting me know if you currently or have used in the past BPM Supreme or BeatSource Link and what you think of it. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'm DJ Alex Brown, and that's going to wrap this video up. Peace.